In this video, I want to talk a little bit about how to structure your practice. I find that golfers are either working on their technique or they're working on skill development. And when I watch better players practice from being out on the PGA Tour, they're more oftentimes working on skill development than they are their technique. Granted being they've probably been playing the game for a long time, they feel like they've kind of solidified their technique. But when I look at amateur golfers and really they don't have the rate of development that they should have, I think they spend far too much time in a block practice mode and they don't mix it up and challenge themselves to become more skillful. Here I just want to share a quick chipping exercise I do with my players that gets them out of the block mode and into more of the creative side and gets them being able to hit different shots. So you can see I've just got a standard chipping green here on the back of TPC Summerlin. It's probably about 30 yards wide, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take two of these alignment rods and I'm going to kind of create a bracket that's about 20 yards wide, and I'm going to lay the first flag stick down here at the front of the green and just kind of step off 20 yards. And you can see that I've kind of created a short landing zone and a long landing zone, and I'm basically going to play a game of leapfrog now. So my first shot that I'm going to hit, obviously I'm going to have all this green to work with, and my goal is to actually make the ball finish as close to this flag stick as possible without touching that flag stick. So I'm really stressing distance control here. I'm going to play some kind of a low bump and run shot that's probably rolling across the green and trying to stop as close to this flag stick as I can, because I'm trying to preserve space. The goal here, or what you're competing against, is how many balls can you get in the space without having one ball go past the other. So ideally my first ball would finish here, my second ball would finish here, my third ball would finish here, so on and so forth. Now this sounds really easy in a 20-yard gap here. Some of my tour players usually get about 7 or 8 balls in here. These first ones are pretty easy, and you'll see the balls kind of cluster up together. When we get in this phase right here, we now have to hit a very, very kind of soft shot. So we're going to be changing kind of trajectory windows as we go throughout this drill. Let's give it a shot and see how well we can do. All right, so this first shot, I've got obviously all this green to work with. My goal is to get it as close to the far flag as possible, so I'm just going to try to play some kind of a little low chip. Sit down. Oh, that was as good as I could do there. That probably stopped about an inch from there. So this one I'm going to make very similar kind of motion, just trying to land it a little bit short of that. Oh, I'm on fire here. That's a 2 now. Again, a little bit shorter than that one this time. Pretty good. So you can see as I start working back towards me, I'm going to have to start slowing the ball down just a little bit. The only things I'm doing is kind of moving ball position around, maybe adding a little bit of rehinge to kind of soften it just a touch. I used up a little more space than I wanted to on that one. I've got about half the grid left here. That's 4 balls. I'm going to have to slow this one down just a little bit. I'll nudge the ball forward. And I kind of hit that one a little bit fat, but I got away with it. Again, I'm going to try to slow this ball down just even a little bit more. Sit down. Yes, that's 7. Needed to play that last one a little higher. I hit it a little lower than I wanted to. A little softer here. Sit. Sit, sit. All right, so I hit that ball about 1.5 balls past the other one. So that would be the end of my drill, and I actually, you know, I'm done there. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 in the grid, which is not great, but probably pretty average for me. I needed to be able to hit a few more softer ones, and I've left myself probably 6 or 7 yards to work with here. but you could see how this first part of the grid would be very, very challenging from such a short distance trying to slow that ball down. But anyways, the point of this is, let's get out of block practice mode. Let's get into skill development. You know, there's only 3 hole locations on this green, so if I drop my balls randomly around this green, I'm really only playing to 3 holes. Here, I could potentially be playing 10 different, 12 different shots, you know, slowing the ball down, slowing the ball down. And, you know, if you practice in this, you're going to get way more skill with your wedges around the green, and hopefully it's going to help you lower your scores.